Girls' Last Tour is about Chito and Yuri traveling across a post apocalyptic world, learning about what the world was like before destruction, and importantly, learning about the values of friendship. Girls' Last Tour came out in 2017, and for some reason, I just never watched it. I never really had any interest in watching it. I think it just had to do with the cutesy art style. Just wasn't my thing. But recently, a friend named Snowball, yes, that's his name, asked me to review Girls' Last Tour since it's one of his favorite shows. And because I'm a good guy, I said, fuck no. But I caved in and said yeah. Is Girls' Last Tour any good? Let's find out. For starters, I really like the main cast of Yuri and Chito. These two are pretty much going to be the only characters you're going to follow throughout this story. Yeah, there's a couple of characters that pop up here and there, but throughout this journey, it's just going to be these two. And I like both characters. Yuri is a bit on the lazy side, always wanting food, saying that it's too dark. She usually hops up in the trunk with all the other stuff, while Chito is the leader of the group and will drive place to place. They're a fun dynamic. While this is by no means a horror anime, I do think that the atmosphere is fantastic, and it could have definitely worked in a horror setting. With all the snow, with all the dark backgrounds, with the pipes, it's got a little bit of a steampunk edge to it, and there were some creepy times when they're like going through an abandoned building and stuff like that. The journey these two girls went on, I thought was going to be pretty boring. It was going to be episodic show of these two girls going into a new colony of people or village or something like that and learning that it's going to be okay to kill people. But I'm glad they didn't. This world is pretty empty, and with the characters that you meet in the show, they all serve a purpose. They're all unique in their own way, and it just goes to show that these two girls are not alone in this world, even though, things are pretty bad. The animation is fairly standard, but to be fair, it didn't really need godlike animation like the Monogatari series. What I appreciate the most is the art style and the background art. It all looks super detailed, and when I mentioned the atmosphere, it looks creepy, and I think the tone that they were trying to show definitely helps, but it's also kind of strange at the same time. One of my favorite things about this show is that it managed to be creepy, cold, dead, and sad, but at the same time, it also made me feel cheered. It made me feel happy. It made me feel warm. It was a really happy time. But in the midst of all this chaos, I shouldn't be feeling like that, but the two characters are so likable, and the great Japanese performances did a fantastic job of making this show come to life. It's a really unique experience, and I have to recommend the show to everybody. There's only one mixed aspect I have with the show, and that's probably the music. While the music is there isn't a ton of it, and when it's used great. But my mixed aspect of it is the opening and the ED. While the opening and ED are catchy songs, I don't think it fits well with the show. Like, it's got this really poppy, happy-going song, and sure, yeah, that's the entire tone, but I wish there was just a bit of both, like the show had when it was going on. But, maybe it's just a me thing, but the music is nice, but I'm kind of mixed on it. Overall, Girls' Last Tour is a fucking awesome show. I was surprised by how dark it was, despite it having a really cutesy art style, and it really sends a good message on the power of friendship. I know that's a shonen trope that can be done to death, but in a world full of nothing except your friend, you two are the only ones that you got, and you two are the only one that can get through the apocalypse. I watched this show on Amazon Prime with its Japanese sub. I did hear a little bit of the dub, but to be honest with you, I wasn't a fan. No disrespect to the English voice actors, but I think the Japanese voice cast did a phenomenal job. And that's going to be it for me. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you know when my next video is up, and also comment down below on what you thought of Girls Last Tour. I would love to know. Big thanks to Miasma Senpai, Warpbait, and My Name is Doofy for supporting me on Patreon. You guys are awesome.